This is Robert Cedeno with the Process to Purpose podcast. Again, we're here to help inspire, motivate, and encourage others to find their purpose through the process of spirituality, health, and wealth using godly principles and values to break through to the life that God has called us to live. I'm super excited for this next episode that we have. We're going to be interviewing Dr. Sam Bakhtiar, CEO and founder of the Camp Transformation Center and CEO and founder of 1% Nutrition. And what I love about Sam is that he focuses on faith, family, fitness, finances, and fun, right? And you're able to take the principles that he's teaching us in this interview and really apply it to your life. Sam's been through many failures in his life and he's been able to push through. So I hope you learned something great from this episode. Share it with somebody. Here's the episode.
Hey,
awesome.
I'm ready for you.
So you got all these things going on, but we want to know where you started from, where you're from.
You know, real quick, man, can I just say something?
Yeah.
You know, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Sam.
You know, what you're doing for the community, your story that you just shared with me, you know, starting, you know, the year with $22, now you're on your way to make six figures. And not only about the money and all that kind of stuff, everything that you're doing, you know, for the community, for the church, and the man that you have become. You know what I mean? You know, and we talked before we even got on the cameras and stuff like that. You know, you shared with me a little bit of your story. We have a lot in common. And I can't tell you how proud I am, you know, to be here, and so how honored I am for you to be here to interview me. So before I start out, I want to thank you.
Thank you for allowing us to come in your beautiful home and just sharing those really kind words. Like, I'm trying not to cry right now, man. It got me chills and you got me going, man.
Of course, man. Let's over deliver for them. Let's do it. I'm here to over deliver for you guys. Let's get to it and let's have some fun.
Yeah, so he's gonna drop some knowledge, man. We're driving up and we're like, we can't believe where we're at right now. This is amazing. So,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Of course.
You want to go ahead and go straight into your story from the beginning?
Oh man, you know, where do I start? Well, I'm a Persian American. You know, I was born in Iran, and I remember when I turned 3, 2 tragic things happened. One, you know, my dad and my mom got divorced. My dad left. I never saw my dad after that. To this day, you know, I haven't saw him. He died many years ago. So I didn't see that. Not only that happened, my country went to war with Iraq. And a guy you guys very well know, Saddam Hussein, he was bombing on us for 8 years. Since I was 3 to 11, you know, every night, you know, the lights would go out and there were sirens on the street and you look up on the sky and you saw planes coming by, dropping bombs, and you saw anti-air missiles going. It looked like fireworks, but it wasn't fireworks. It wasn't Disneyland. It wasn't
4th of July.
It wasn't war. You know, It wasn't 4th of July. It was war. You know, and
that's real.
And at any moment in those years, you know, we were waiting. Will a bomb drop on us tonight or not? So that's when I was beginning. You know, that's the very, very beginning.
Awesome. And then from there, you ended up in, you said Pennsylvania.
Yes. So you know, at 11 years old, they were recruiting me and all the men to go to war.
Okay.
You know, at 11 years old, they were giving you machine guns and go to war. And you know, and that's how bad it was. And you know, the Muslims call it a jihad. You know, so if you go to war and you die, you know, you basically are guaranteed to go head to heaven and you know, and all that kind of stuff. And my mom was like, well, I don't want my only son to die. So what we did was we, you know, first went to France as refugees of war.
Okay. And
we stayed in France for a year, and then we came to America as a refugees of war.
Okay.
And me and my mom and $500 in a single luggage. You know, and when I was coming to America, you know, I was watching American shows. You know, you guys are way too young to know, but there's American shows called Dallas and Dynasty and, you know, the A-Team. Look it up, man. Those was like those were the sitcoms back then.
We had the A-Team not too long ago. With,
but the old A-Team.
Mr. T.
Yeah, Mr. T.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and you know, I was looking at him. I mean, I thought, oh my God, America is like, you know, heaven. You know, everybody has Cadillacs and mansions and swimming pools, and you know, I thought everybody was a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
But they, you know, on those TV shows, they never show the ghetto and the bad parts, right? So when I came to America, you know, we moved to a little town called Sharon, Pennsylvania. Sharon. You know, so it's a 45 minutes like north of Pittsburgh, right on the border of Youngstown, Ohio.
Okay.
You know, and it's an old steel mill town where all the steel mills went out of business. And it was abandoned buildings, brick roads, very depressed in the middle of crack cocaine epidemic.
Wow.
You know, and
what year was this?
1985.
1985. Wow.
You know, and my uncle does what pretty much all Middle Easterns do when they come to America. He had a convenience store in the hood.
Right in the hood, man.
Right in the hood, man.
Awesome.
Right in the hood, in the middle of the hood. And first thing I did is, we moved to America, and I went right to that convenience store and started helping my uncle. And we moved in with my uncle.
Okay, so that was like your first level of like entrepreneurship.
Watching my uncle having a store, and I was in charge of candy and cigarettes.
Candy and cigarettes.
Yeah, there was a section. There was candy on the bottom, cigarettes at the top.
And you're slinging them.
I was slanging them.
you're moving.
Yeah, I tell you what. One thing I learned about America is that I didn't know what food stamps were. So when people were paying me with food stamps, I was giving them regular money back.
Oh man, how did that go with your uncle?
Oh my God, he didn't know. He just looked after a few weeks. He looked at it and goes, "Why is his section always so busy?" Because people in the hood found out that I didn't know what I was doing. I was giving money back for food stamps.
Yeah, little Sam is over here handing out cigarettes for food stamps. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so when did you come over here to before we get there, you still have some story to share in Pennsylvania.
A lot. So when I went, when I got there, I went to 7th grade. And look, Sharon, Pennsylvania to this day is not that diverse. Now there's a few Hispanics and a few Asians there, not too many, but in 1985, middle of nowhere, USA, I was the only minority that town that high school has ever seen.
Really?
So I literally walked in the first day of high school, junior high, they were together, and it was like, Moses parted the Red Sea. There was black people on this side, white people on this side, and they were like, "What is that?
What are you?
What is you?" That's what they said. What is you? You know what I mean?
That's
awesome. And my clothes were different. My haircut was different. I didn't speak the language. And I went to the guidance counselor and I said, I want to enroll in 7th grade and I want to play football. Football. And the guy was like, yeah, football. Like this. And he showed me this crazy looking ball. I'm like, oh, that's not football. I think that's called rugby.
Yeah.
I go, this is the foot and this is the ball. I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
Soccer, right?
They're like, oh, that's what's called soccer here, and we
gosh.
don't have soccer. And so I'm in a new country. I don't have any friends. I don't speak the language. I don't have the same, same associations or anything like that. And now I don't have a sport. So they're like, yeah, we have baseball, football, and we have basketball. Baseball to this day, I don't even know what it's all about. I just know you hit the ball and you have to run through the bases. That's all I know about baseball. I don't know how many.
So you didn't watch the World Series?
I watch it. I don't know what the objective is because my wife knows. My wife likes the Dodgers.
Got it.
She's a diehard LA Dodgers fan. They gonna watch it, but I have no idea. I really don't have any interest. I think it's boring. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and I have the same feeling. I'll watch the World Series, but when it comes to actually sitting and watching on TV, sorry guys, but I'm more of a football guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like sports, and when it gets like to the to the finals and stuff like that, sometimes I sit down and watch one, but I'd rather play the game of life than sit down and watch the game all day long. I'm not that. If I'm not, I can't sit Saturday and Sunday all day watching TV. I'd rather be out there playing and doing stuff.
Yeah,
I've never
moving.
been. Yeah, I've never been that. Yeah, making moves. I could care less what people do or what people do. They're not going to pay my bills.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you decided to play basketball.
Yeah. So you can laugh now. I'm 5'5" on a good day. And my claim to fame, my idol at that time was a guy named Spud Webb. Remember Spud Webb?
Yeah.
He was like 5'7". He was like dunking the ball. So
yeah.
If Spud Webb can be good at basketball, so I can be. You know what I mean?
You got the calves for it.
I got the calves, but I learned one thing, man. White man can't jump. Persian man really can't jump.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried out for the basketball team and I got cut. And that was the most devastating. Blow to my ego ever at that time because I used to be a star soccer player.
Yeah.
And I come here and in this country I'm nobody. And I remember going to walking home crying, and my mom said, you know what, go to the boys club, practice basketball, and after I get off work, I'll come pick you up, and then so you can try out next year. And that's what I did. That was the game plan.
Well, that's awesome that you're actually at that age. Your mom's already instilling this character in you that say, hey, you got cut, you failed, but you have to work hard.
Yeah, my mom is no joke. My mom is 4'11", 90 pounds, but she, awesome. I don't feel no man or but God in her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's to this day, I don't ever think that my mom, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't think my mom has ever said good job. You know what I mean? You know, she always, I can always do better. Always do better. You know, hey, you did this. That's good. But you can do this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, Mom.
That's a blessing,
yes,
man.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you failed, right? So what I'm hearing right now, you failed a couple of times at a young age. You said your biggest failure was at 3 years old, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've failed. You know, I have failed. I've been my face has been in mud many years, many times during a young age.
Okay. So what'd you do after you failed in basketball?
So, you know, like I said, I tried to get better. You know, I got up, tried to get better. You know, I'm like, all right, I just got to put in work. I knew for me to be able to make the basketball team, I need to go practice 2-3 hours a day and try next year. And that was the game plan. I started practicing after school. You know, but when I went to this boys club, you know, I walked in and I saw these guys coming from this room upstairs. And, you know, the guys were walking around like this, you know, like all big,
Come
like
on.
this, you know.
Like you walk around now.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know, and I'm like, man, you know, those were back then when the Commando movies and the Sylvester Stallone movies and the Arnold movies were out. I'm like, I want to look like them, man. I want to see what's going on. So I went to this room and I got so intimidated. A bunch of big blue collar steel workers just banging weights, cussing at each other, slapping each other, spitting tobacco.
Oh gosh.
You know what I mean? And I bring their own boom box.
Oh man.
You know, kind of thing. And you know, I started, you know, lifting after they left every single day because I didn't want to lift in front of them. I was too scrawny, too skinny. I was so too self-conscious. But
Scared.
Scared, right? And then I started working out and started falling in love with, you know, how it made me feel, how much stronger I got. I started what I call developing these baby muscles. You know, baby muscles are the muscles that you can only tell on yourself.
Oh yeah, I still have those. I have those all the time, man. I tell my wife, hey, you see that? No. All right, awesome.
Yeah, and that's how I fell in love with the whole transformation game. You know, because I saw not only what it did for my physical, but it also helped me with my self-esteem, you know, self-worth, and how I carried myself.
So that transition helped you get to. Because I know I've read that you won all these bodybuilding competitions in each weight class.
Yeah, so I started bodybuilding, and at the time, like I said, I had the worst genetics. You know, I had small, skinny arms. One thing that I always had was my calves and my legs, like thanks to my mom. I had small, skinny arms and back, and I had a big old belly, like a little fat belly. You know, so I started working out, and everybody was like, you know, you're not going to be anything, and all that kind of stuff. And you know, and I kept working out, kept being persistent. And yeah, I ended up, you know, started competing. And by the time I was finished, I was the first bodybuilder in history to have a first place title in every weight class.
Wow. Yeah, that's just commitment and just perseverance. Yeah. That's amazing. How did you accomplish that?
You know, it's weird. You know, you know, when I first bodybuilding, I was scrawny, skinny, so my weight class was bantamweight. So I was 143 pounds. You know, then I gained a little bit of size, and I went to 154. And then I took a couple of years off to put on more size, and I was at 176. And then one time, I was going to go as a middleweight, but I missed it. So I was like, you know, I missed the weight, and I didn't make the weight. So I came in like 178 or something like that. So they automatically put me at light heavyweight, but I ended up winning. And then at that point, I'm like, well, I can really win light heavyweight. So I stayed around 180, 185, and I competed. That was my regular weight. So I had all these first place trophies in all those weight classes. And I told myself, you know what? You never competed as a heavyweight. You know, and I walked around 200 all the time.
Really?
You know, and I'm like, you know what? Why don't you just compete as a heavyweight one time? And just to say you did it. You know, I was just like, you know, you probably won't even place, but let's just say you did it. You know, so I was like, all right. You know, so I literally, for 2 weeks, I ate nothing but cookies and tea. Because I couldn't even get the cookies in anymore. I would just dip it into tea to make it soft.
Just for the calories.
Yeah, just for the calories to be able to get the calories in and get the fullness in. So I literally, the cutoff was 198 and a quarter. So I went in 199.
Oh man.
And I made the heavyweight. And to my surprise, not only I won the class, but I won the overall.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
By eating cookies and tea.
Yeah.
So I'm starting my new diet tomorrow, which is, what kind of cookies were those? Oreo cookies?
No, man. Chewy Chip Ahoy. That's my stuff. Right,
that's my favorite, man. So you win in every weight class. What do you do after the bodybuilding? So you start transitioning into business. How did that transition happen?
So I started my business while I was bodybuilding, right? So my business started, while I was bodybuilding, And when, I met my wife, and I said, you know what, it's time to settle down, get married, and start a family. I was 32, and I was like, all right, it's time. It was time. So I put bodybuilding on hold, because bodybuilding can be a very selfish sport. All you do is lift and eat and tan and pose and sleep and.
That sounds pretty good to me.
It's good until you have a serious boy, serious girlfriend and wife and and all that kind of stuff, right? So I put that on hold and I started a family, and that's when I knew that all right, now you're gonna start a family. Now I need to get serious about business.
Yeah.
To that point, the business was just to be able to survive and eat and bodybuild, and to me that was it. But
buy some more protein.
Yeah, buy some protein. Awesome. Yeah, true.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's when I got serious.
Okay, awesome. So throughout that time, I really want to go back. Something that really got to me when you shared your story at Remax Top Producers was going back and at 3 years old, you had your first failure, right? How did that set you up for the rest of your life? Where you could have used the excuse, say, hey, you know what, I failed. I didn't. I don't have a dad. How can someone use that as an excuse, and how did you push through it to bounce back?
I don't know. I don't even know if I can say this in this podcast or anything like that. You can't look at your past and let your past define you. If somebody's doing that, that's just an excuse, cop out way for you to say you're lazy, you don't want to pursue your dreams.
Yeah.
And when somebody does that, it kind of like makes me mad, because so many people have overcome such a humongous things, and you can't let what happened in the past define who you are in the future.
Amen.
And as long as you have the work ethics, as long as you have the will, as long as you're willing to do whatever it takes, which becomes, as long as you're willing to do whatever it takes, which most people do. That's why I call them the 1%ers.
Something so great that is affecting so many lives, where I have people who I share this and they're like, I'm sharing it with everyone on the camp page because it genuinely changes their lives. So how did that come about?
Well, man, it's a funny thing is camp also came out of a failure. Everything. And for those of you who are watching this and listening to this, understand that everything happens to you for a reason. And you can sit down and play victim and say, why me? Or in adversity, you can find an opportunity.
Okay.
In every adversity, there's a huge opportunity. So if you can just open your eyes and just look through it and find an opportunity, you're gonna miss out. Instead of putting your head down and my God, why is this happening to me? How happened to me? Find an opportunity. And I always, I'm a big, boxing fan.
Really?
I'm a big boxing fan. And whenever you see someone against the ropes and the other guy is just wailing on him, if the guy just looks through and pays attention to an opportunity for the guys to be just open and be able to counterpunch, he can knock the guy out.
Yeah.
So when you see these kind of things, if the guy's against the rope and he's not punching back and he's like covering his eyes, and he's going to get knocked out because he's already given up.
That's it. He's
right?
done.
But if the guy is covering up, he sees somebody's wailing on him, but in the meantime, he's still looking for an opportunity to come back and counter.
That's good.
I've seen people, middle of getting, wailed on, knock the other guy out.
Yeah.
So life is the exact same way. So, other times when you are, everything, is raining, you're so busy looking at the rain, you don't see the opportunity, you don't see the thing. Just know that everything that's passed in the past, you're alive now. Nothing's killed you so far.
Yeah.
All the things that you have done in your life, all the times that you thought this was the end of the world, wasn't. And this time it will not be either. So open your eyes, look at it and say, hey, what am I going to take away from this lesson? What is going on? What is the lesson in this adversity for me? So at the time, when I started my personal training business, I was crushing it, I was crushing it as soon as I started, from 2000 to 2007, 2008, I was crushing it. Even, my peak, I was doing $2.4 million out of a 3,000 square foot facility. $2.4 million, not take home, but gross revenue.
Yeah.
So, I was doing very well, and when you do really well, you get cocky, you get arrogant, and, I thought I was the man. I thought I was anything I could touch, I'd be into a gold and all that. I didn't know, hey, it was the economy, it was the industry. I thought it was just me, I was just a man. So I started making money, you know.
And that's with personal training?
Yeah, so personal training.
Okay.
You know, I was going out there acting like I was P. Diddy, you know. And you know, and I was in the club acting stupid. It's a true story, you know. But when all of a sudden the recession hit, you know, my business didn't slow down. It's like somebody actually put that emergency brake on. So I went from doing $2.4 million in 2007 to $450,000 in 2009.
$2 million.
Lost $2 million in revenue in a matter of 2 years.
Wow.
You know, and literally my house was up for foreclosure. You know, I was dying, and it was the worst time of my life because my wife was pregnant, and I thought I had money. That's why we started a family, and then next thing I almost lost it all.
Wow.
So when that time came for a period of, you know, from 2008 to 2010, I was struggling. Like my house was up for foreclosure, like I was saying, and we decided what am I going to do, because most of my clients couldn't afford $600 to $800 a month for personal training that normally cost at the time. And so I'm like, what should I do? So I was like, all right, maybe I need to do what I call small group training.
Okay.
You know, maybe 4 or 5 people per one trainer, pay a little bit less, but have one trainer sharing it. And that worked for a little bit. And then I was approached with, you know, a friend of mine who I trained and her husband that I trained, Ali and Louis Font.
Okay.
You know, and, you know, Ali approached me, hey, why don't we, you know, partner up and open up a boot camp? And at the time, I'm like, boot camp? I'm like, what is that? Some jumping jacks people do and stuff running around the park? That's not stuff not going to work.
Yeah.
So I was close-minded. I remember at that
you
time,
only knew.
I always knew, hey, you have to lift heavy weights, and you have to do this, and you have to do that for you to get best results. And we need one-on-one attention. So I was kind of close-minded, but Ali kept approaching me and was very persistent. So I tried to get rid of her, actually. I was like, you know what, Ali, I'll give you, you know, if you're interested, I want you to do all this stuff and come back to me. She got it done. I'm like, oh my God. Hey, I need you to do more stuff. Come back to me. She got it done. So I'm like, all right, man. I put, you know, I'm like, I have to commit. I told her I would do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, at the time, all I had in the bank account was $11,000.
Wow.
You know, and Ali didn't have anything. You know, so, you know, I put $11,000. Worst case scenario, that's all I have is $11,000. You know.
Last shot.
But I said, Ali, you have to teach all that stuff because I'm not doing no jumping jacks. You know what I mean? I'm not, you know, running around doing no jumping jacks, you know? You know, I like lift heavy weights, cardio, I'm not a, you know, fan, right?
Stairmaster.
Yeah, right, exactly. So Ali, you know, started doing all the classes and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, and I was just kind of like a silent partner. She was running it and all that kind of stuff. Next thing you know, I see the revenue for the camp approaching fitness concepts, the one-on-one training. Next thing you know, I see the revenue for the camp surpass, you know, fitness concepts and all that. Well, maybe I need to pay this a little closer attention. And I mean, we were so shoestring budget. We had concrete floors. I mean, I remember clients complaining about their back hurt. I'm like, you all right? He's not, you know what I mean? People were doing jumping jacks and stuff on a concrete floor.
What mats?
You know what I mean? There was no mat. There was nothing. You know what I mean? And so when I started paying more attention, I'm like, well, we're onto something, because people actually got better results. People stayed longer and had more fun than one-on-one training. Because one-on-one training, you know, at the end of the day, it became a therapy session. Therapy session, what I mean by that is, you know, the trainer gets to know you, you get to know the trainer,
Friends.
and after a while, all they do is, how's your husband, how's your wife, and how did this happen, and how you doing, what are you doing this weekend?
So
but group training, we didn't have all that.
Yeah, because then nothing gets done when you're doing the personal training.
Correct.
Yeah, you lose the first 5 pounds and then.
So the boot camp, you know, basically, you know, was born out of recession, out of desperation.
Wow, that's crazy. But I mean, I'm sure you were prepared, right? So you were preparing yourself your whole life. So were you still, during that time when you hit the recession, were you still hitting the books? Were you still hitting seminars, or was that not even in the picture?
You know, for a period. Look, you can hit the books and you can hit the seminars when you're in a good state of mind, which means that, you know, you don't have to worry about where your next meal is coming from and, you know, what's going on and things like that, right? That's when, you know, you hit the books and you hit the seminars and, you know, and things like that. But when you're in a fight or flight mode, you're afraid to even take, you know, 1 minute off,
That's good.
You know, from work or anything like that. You know, so you want to make sure that, you know, you're out there working, hustling, and trying to get every penny, you know, all that. So for a period, man, I was just trying to survive.
So you just had a strong why.
Yes, that's all it was, man. I was a strong why was my wife was pregnant, and I don't want to be a loser like the dad that I had. Yeah. And I'd be able to provide for me. And so for me, my biggest thing to this day, even though that, I'm somewhat successful, is I want to be able to provide. I want to be able to provide for my kids. That's my biggest fear, to become to be a dad that wasn't able to take care of the family, and so that's my biggest fear. That's my biggest why.
So let's go into that. Yeah. What is your biggest why?
My biggest why is my children. I mean, bottom line, you just, God, I'm sorry crying, but bottom line is I don't want to be like my dad.
Yeah.
My dad, like I said, left. That's when I was 3 years old. Never provided anything for us. I remember going to, Christmas time for other kids and stuff like that, and I would see the kids having bikes and presents and things like that, nice homes, and I would go there, and my mom and I couldn't afford nothing like that. So first I started ultrasound. I put out my sport bikes for sale. I had a Harley and I had an R1. I'm like, I'm gonna sell this. I got life insurance. Yeah, right. I started growing up like that. Yeah. And I started a 529 account, a college account. Wow. For the kids. Ever since they were as soon as they were born, I've been putting money into it so they can have a future. And that's like an account that I don't even have a password for.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So the money goes in there every month. I can't touch it. It's theirs. And
perfect.
It's that. So.
And I love to see the emotion that, even though you have all these amazing things going on, you still have that emotion to be like, man, like, I don't want to be that dad that I had. And that really gets to me, because I remember when I was younger, I think 18 or 19 years old, I got arrested, right? So I got arrested, charged with the felony. Like, it's just something really stupid that is just wrong place at the wrong time, all this good stuff, right? And I remember coming out, my mom bailed me out. We didn't have much money, and she bailed me out. I think it was like $2,000 bail. And I remember hugging her and crying, and all I could remember saying is, I never wanted to be like my dad, which my dad was in and out of jail, and, he's doing drugs. Now we have a decent relationship. We had a chance to mend that, but I just love to see the emotion that you have and why you're so successful because of your daughters.
Well, I mean, if you follow Tim Grover, who wrote the book Relentless, and he worked with some of the top people, top athletes in the world. Yeah. He talks to it about, every big player operates on the dark side. Everybody wants to talk about, the good, this and that, but you have to have something that's really hurt you to be able to catapult you to the next level.
Yeah.
Use that hurt as fuel. A lot of people use that hurt to slow them down.
Yeah.
But I use it as fuel. You know what I mean? And for me, every single day, that's a big part of my why, to be able to go out there and provide the best life for my family. And and it's so funny, man. It's I'm gonna share a couple of stories with you with the girls. I think it's really funny. We were at Disneyland one time, and me and my girls, and this little kid came in, was my daughter's age, like 8 years old at the time. He was like flashing some money, like he had some money and stuff like that. And my daughter looked at him and was like, "Oh, you got little money. My dad got lots of money." And even though I was embarrassed like in front of the parents. I was like, awesome. I kind of turned around like in myself, like, you better tell her, girl. You better tell her. He can't impress you. He can't impress you.
Come on.
And then the other day, my daughter was like, "Daddy," I'm like, "What?" He goes, "You're really strong, and you got like $1 gazillion." He goes, "Like a lot of girls will like you, huh?"
Oh my God!
And I was like, "Tell that to Miss Crystal. Tell that to Miss Crystal, so she knows."
Oh my gosh! Did you tell her?
Yes.
No, Miss Crystal's gonna get jealous, man.
So it's funny, man, because you just want like the best. You want the best for her. But in the meantime, I'm very conscious of making sure that they understand the value. They understand hard work. They understand that there's a cause and effect for every decision they make.
Yeah.
Because last thing I want is raise Paris Hilton's or the Kardashians or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I want them to understand that there is a value for everything, and just because I have it, that doesn't mean they're going to get it.
Yeah, integrity, character,
absolutely correct.
All those foundational values.
Correct.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. So I see that you're so passionate about your family, your daughters, your wife, but I know you have a couple of pillars in your life, right? Mm-hmm. that I read on, and I know it's you focus on faith.
Yeah, obviously, look, the 5 F's, right?
Yeah, the 5 F's. I was going there, but go ahead.
I call it 5 F's. To me, if you have control of these 5 things in your life, then to me, you are the 1%er. You're successful. You know what I mean? And look, nobody can be balanced. There's no such a thing as balance in life. And let me tell you what I mean. Balance is earned.
Okay.
Right? Like, a lot of people want to be balanced. Like, let's just say, let's talk about weight loss, for example.
Okay.
Let's say somebody who has been unbalanced for years. For 10 years, all they've been doing is sitting on the couch, eating bonbons, pizza, and McRibs.
I've been there.
me too, but not for 10 years. So for 10 years they neglected their health. They've been eating junk, and now all of a sudden they want to start an exercise program, and everybody says, well, don't overdo it. Oh my God, so don't lose more than 1 pound a week. Don't do this. No. If you've been unbalanced for so long, then you need to be unbalanced this way for a long time so you can meet in the middle.
That's good.
Right? If you've been over here, you can't just come back over here. You got to go here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be able to sooner or later. So balance is something that you earn, not just all of a sudden, you've been bad for so long and all of a sudden, be able to do that. So, when we talk about the 5 F's, number one is obviously faith.
Yes.
Number one is faith. To me, I don't care if you're Muslim, you're Christian, you're Jewish, I don't care what you are, but you have to believe in faith and you have to believe in something greater than you.
Yeah.
In this life. So faith is always above everything to me, and you have to have faith in your life, and that something is greater for you, that you're here for a reason.
Yeah.
Two, after faith is obviously family. Mm-hmm. Family is everything. To me, if you don't have family, that's above everything. For me, that's my driving force. That's my why.
That wakes you up at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, and it's not what you give them, it's what you put into them.
That's really good.
You know what I mean? So it's not what you give. It's not how much I give them. It's what I put into them for later on in life. Then after that is fitness.
Okay.
Because without fitness, there's if you don't have your health,
yeah,
then what is wealth? Let me ask you a question. I'd rather be broke, I have my health, than be a billionaire and be terminally ill or be in bad health.
Yeah, because most people would actually flip that, right?
Yes, exactly. Most people say, people ask me, why not finances first?
Yeah.
And I say, well, and I ask them the same exact question I just asked you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather be a billionaire that be terminally ill, or would you rather be broke but have all the health and environments that you have? So.
Yeah, because you can create that opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So then we have finance. Finance is obviously, you want to be able to provide for your family and all that things. And let me touch on finances a little bit. For me, finances has always been about providing the basic necessities for your life.
Okay.
Look, if you have a home, if you have a car, if you have a home that's paid for, if you have a car that's paid for, you can literally work at McDonald's and live a pretty decent stress-free life.
Yeah.
So anything after that is kind of like a luxury, right?
Got it.
You know what I mean? So, most people are just want to get to basic necessities. But once you get to basic necessities, everything after that is charity.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and then with the finances that you get, you can give more.
Absolutely.
Give back of your time like you're doing now. Yeah. And a lot of people see money as a bad thing, right? It's a stigma.
I was raised that way. You always say, okay, what did he do? How many people did he rep off? What did he have to do to be able to, get these kind of money and be able to get there? But if you study wealth, it's very simple. The wealthiest people in the world end up also are people who are helped and made the biggest difference in the world.
Yeah.
What they have done is just figure out a problem and provide a solution to that problem for people. So, that's how wealth is created. The more people that you help, the more that you will make.
So when did that mindset change for you? When do you feel like that change? Say, hey, now I know what finances are for.
The mindset, obviously, you always read in personal development books.
Yes.
Hey, the more people you help, the more money you make. You want to earn more, become more. But all that is bullshit.
Okay.
Until you actually get there and are able to experience it. Because if you are dead broke and your kids don't have food, you're about to get evicted out of your apartment, all that stuff will never sink. Because you don't know. You're too busy trying to survive. And I've been there. And I've been there. I've been in situations where I literally had made deals with the devil to try to put food on the table. What I mean by deals with the devil is like a client came in and I knew this would be a bad client. Like, oh my God, this girl, this person, this man is going to be nothing but trouble as a client. But I can't refuse that. Even though that I know it's going to be a bad deal, I got to take the money because I got to pay rent. I got to put food on the table. I've made those deals. But nothing is more liberating where the person comes in and wants to hand you the money. And I'm like, I don't want your money.
I'm good.
I'm good. Let me refer you to a person down the street. That might be a better thing for you or a better thing. That's when you created wealth and create peace of mind because you don't need to, get every money. And until you get there, you don't really understand what the personal development books are saying. So I was like, you read it, I'm like, man, dude, I can't. My kids are hungry.
Yeah, like I gotta move.
I gotta eat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I'm taking it.
Yeah, I'm taking it. Right. Yeah.
That's what I was when I first started off with $22 in my pocket at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I was like, anyone coming my way, let's go see a home. You're not pre-approved. Cool, let's go see it anyways. But that's what we have to do at the beginning.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I want to get into the book that you wrote.
Okay.
So you wrote 99 Keys to Mastering Your Life and Rising to the Top, Becoming the 1%er. And I read the whole thing in just a couple of days. Literally, I was like, man, this is amazing. I can't get enough of it. And I actually took a couple of notes right here. My three favorite, actually cheated, I got four favorite.
Right.
So I got key 14, forget what you were born with. And again, that's kind of like going back to what you were saying with your dad, right? Or, your past.
Yeah.
Key, and then I also like key 36, make it about more than you. Something we just spoke about right now.
Yeah.
With your finances, you can bless more people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, today I met with, a gentleman who owns a boxing gym.
Okay.
And matter of fact, one of the people from, Remax referred me to him because he said, this guy's like sleeping in the gym. He's a great operator, but he doesn't know anything about business. Would you meet with him? And I said, sure, I'll meet with him. You know what I mean?
Such a good dude.
So I met with him for about an hour and a half today, at lunch. And, kind of just told him what I would do, and it was in his shoes and, kind of give him some pointers. And I can help him a lot, So that's, when back in the day when I was dead broke, I would have never met with him because I had to make calls, I had to make ends, I had to, make money, I had to wait for somebody to come in. I would never done that. But now that I'm able to say, hey, man, I'm good, I can take a little bit, I can now give back. I was able to take an hour and a half of my time to go be able to meet with this gentleman, and hopefully I can make a difference in his life.
Wow. And I know this is a really hard question, and if you can maybe think of one or two, but if I know you have 99 keys and they're all super amazing, but if you could choose one or two, somebody that's in that position right now that they're just starting off and they have nothing going for them, and they starting off with $22 in their pocket and they're trying to get, a podcast going, social media presence going, what one or two keys would you share with them, maybe three, that would totally change their lives?
First of all, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Like, look, here's how I meet with people these days. A lot of people always hit me up. Hey, Sam, can I take an hour of your time? This, and that. And usually what I try to do is, hey, look, I work out at 4 a.m. Why don't you come work out with me and we'll talk? So
I'd be there, Sam.
yeah, come on down. So 4 o'clock in the morning, usually, pretty much at least once or twice a week, somebody new's working out with me because they want to talk to me about, pick my brain about something and ask me some questions. So there was this younger kid, that came up to me and, he wanted to, start this business and all that. And he was waiting for the right time and to study the right thing and, that kind of stuff. Kind of like we just, adjusted here on the fly.
Yeah.
You do it and you figure it out. There's a book called Ready, Shoot, Aim. You know what I mean? In life, you just have to take action. Action trumps everything. Are you going to make mistakes? Yes, you're going to make mistakes. Are you going to fail? Yes, you're going to fail. But along the way, it's better than not doing anything. So you can't just, paralyze, paralyze yourself by analyzing too much.
Yeah, because it's kind of like what we said earlier today. Overcommit and figure out the rest later.
Love it.
And that's exactly what I did with this podcast.
Yeah.
I said, hey, I'm going to reach out to Sam. Usually, I'm a one-man team. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a one-man team, Sam, but I overcommitted, and I got my boy Dre and Justin to come help me out because they said, "Hey, I'm gonna be legit. when I go see someone like Sam.
Yeah.
So I overcommitted, and then I figured out the rest later. And that's what I'm all about, Sam, is being just upfront with people, being straight, being real, sharing failures that people don't like to share.
That's what people want to see, though. I mean, in life, nobody goes through life undefeated.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
for sure.
I mean, people are like, well, Floyd Mayweather went undefeated in boxing. No, Floyd Mayweather got his ass kicked a million times before he became Floyd Mayweather, the boxer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Guaranteed.
So, he guarantee, his dad whooped his ass when he was coming up. I'm sure, boxing up. So nobody goes through life undefeated. You just build resilience and go through life and get better at it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing this. I got some quick closing questions.
Sure.
One question that I love to ask is, if you could go back to any age, right? You can't change anything that happened. You can't change any of the failures that happened. You'll still be where you're at now. But if you go back to any age and give yourself one tip, what would it be?
Yeah, definitely the best tip I can give my younger self.
Yeah, younger self, any age.
Is to surround yourself with people who you aspire to be like. When I first, when I went to Sharon, I was in the hood, so I was surrounded by, literally, I'm not even going to joke, I was surrounded by drug dealers, pimps, hoes, and prostitutes. That was my surrounding in the area. Crack dealers, there's people dealing crack and cocaine, and people smoking drugs everywhere. So when I got, when I was out there as a teenager, I was like riding around drinking 40s of Colt 45 and small liquor back in the day.
Oh yeah. Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah, great.
Oh my gosh, that's disgusting.
Riding around drinking, acting stupid. Like you said, you got arrested a couple of times. One time, I've got arrested a few times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things that came back and haunted me in my life. So if I could have just surrounded myself with, I see like kids right now, they're going to like Tony Robbins seminars and they're going in masterminds, and I'm like, oh my God, if I did that at that age, I would have been a billionaire, not a millionaire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I look at them, I'm like, oh my God, you're like 18 years old, 17 years old. You at this mastermind, you at this event. I'm like, I didn't even know what that was till I was like 30.
Wow.
And so that's what I would say.
Awesome. And what I was telling even these guys on the way over here, I was letting them know, I was like, hey, I don't know, but I really feel like God told me to ask you to come here, and I don't know what's going to come out of this, but I really genuinely want to surround myself with amazing people like you. Yeah. So whatever we go from here, I'm just super excited and thankful that you have me here.
No, it's an honor, man. It's an honor, and seeing these guys, man, young kids, hungry, and I see them like a sponge. They're like looking at everything.
Yeah, you see them writing notes.
Man, they're, gosh, man, you guys have greatness in you. This is for you to lose. This life is for you to lose. Everything you are you're surrounded by greatness. You guys are already going to church, so you have your faith in there. You guys look like you're from great families and things like that. If I came from this kind of, like I said, I didn't get into personal development until I was like 30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't get my first mentor until I was 30.
Yeah, same here. I was about 23, so a little bit. I'm 26 now, going to be 27. So I'm still, in a baby stage of learning, where these guys are 18 years old. You
guys are all going to be, at the top of the food chain. It's all said and done. You are what you surround yourself with. Bottom line.
Definitely.
I thought, you think this, here's the thing. Like, I went to Ed Milet's house.
Okay.
Right? So I'm at Ed Milet's house in Idaho, man. Like, so, I'm kind of like, okay, I bought my first mansion here. I feel like, oh, this is pretty cool, this and that. Till I pull up to his mansion.
In the lake?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, this house is like, one wing of his house.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm going like, what? I'm like, oh, maybe I need to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Not that it's material things. In life, it's all about achievement. F the material stuff. It's not, I don't care about that. What makes me happy is to set a goal and achieve it. That's what happiness brought. It's not, if you see the cars and things like that, because I'm not a materialistic guy like that. For me, ever since I was a little kid, I like three things. I was infatuated with three things. One of them was cars, working out in sports, and girls. Thank God girls cost too much money. I had to narrow that down to just one.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? I couldn't afford, to keep dating girls. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So that's what it is. It's not about anything. Every single car that I have, for example, was something that as a kid I dreamed about. I dreamed about, oh my God, I would love to have this, and I would love to have that. And, it's not about anything. So life is all about living it on your terms and what makes you happy.
Yeah, because you could be a school teacher and you're wealthy because you're doing what you love.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then another one, what's one weakness that you have?
What is one weakness that I have?
Yeah, maybe it could be like it could be a strength that you focus a lot on. Maybe a weakness.
I have a lot of weaknesses, man. I mean, I'm full of faults. I can go on and on about my faults, man. I mean, I'll tell you right now, that I could be selfish at times, because being a single child, being a bodybuilder, I'm kind of set in my ways. I want things the way goes my way, and sometimes when it doesn't go on my way, I start tripping, and that's one of my faults that I've somewhat overcome, but it still comes back sometimes and bites me. Other faults. Yeah, I have a lot of faults, man.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's a tough question, huh?
Yeah, people, look at, sometimes go, oh man, he seems to be perfect. No, I'm far from perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to ask my wife that question. She'll sit down here. That'd be a whole different interview. You might need to change batteries.
Oh no, we're gonna go another hour. That's awesome. And then last thing, where can people reach you? And I know you get this question all the time. What's the secret, right, to being in the shape that you're in? Yeah. So what would you say the secret is? And also, where can people reach you and find your information, your books?
Well, I love working out. And that's my drug.
Got it.
That's my drug. I mean, for me, working out, getting up in the morning, first thing in the morning, working out, I feel good. I can take on the day. And if I don't work out, it's like a drug addict that didn't take his drug.
7 days a week.
7 days a week. So see, I don't work out for physical anymore. Obviously, we all want to look good and all that kind of stuff, but for me, if I don't work out, I'm not mentally sharp. You know what I mean? Because now that's an addiction.
Yeah.
It's a good addiction, but it's an addiction. So let me give you an example. Sunday night, I was working all weekend because I was at the Fitness Expo in San Diego.
I seen that.
And, my mother-in-law got Rod Stewart tickets,
Wow.
for Sunday night. Sunday I go to see Rod Stewart here at Citizen Business Arena. And I usually go to bed early Sunday night, but Sunday night I went to bed like 12:30 at night. So obviously my wife was like, you better not get up at 3. I would have, but she was like, you better not. I'm not going to let you get up at 3 o'clock, go to work out. I'm like, all right, I'm going to sleep in. I was sleeping. I have to go to the office. Bottom line, Monday I didn't work out. And Monday, all day I was off. All day. My rhythm was off. My sharpness was off. I was not the same person. I was like, I can't wait till Tuesday. I can start the day off correctly and be able to get on it. And the secret, getting in shape, staying in shape is just fall in love with working out, fall in love with movement, and be aware of, what you put in your mouth. I'm not some broccoli eating cyborg. I love, I just had to get Frosted Flakes. I like peanut butter. But as long as you are aware of what you put in your mouth and make better decisions, overall in the long run, you'll be fine.
Okay, awesome. And then where can people find you?
At Sam Bakhtiar on Instagram. That's the best way to find me.
That's the best way to get to you.
Yeah.
And then also, how long ago did you come out with this book, the Becoming a 1%er?
This book came out about 8 months ago.
Okay.
8 months ago, and is on 1%nutrition.com or at Amazon.
That's where I got my copy, guys. So go on Amazon. Guys, do me a favor. Share this with somebody. Go and get Sam's book. He's out here doing so many amazing things. He really wants to help people out. Sam, again, thank you so much.
Of course. It's my honor.
Yeah. You have anything else to say, or we're good here? So I know you
guys,
dropped so much knowledge.
Hey, guys, for those of you guys who are listening to this, if someone like me, coming up, like say 11 years old, $500 in a luggage, it's a refugees of war, coming here, failing many times, getting made fun of, could never be a bodybuilder, yada, yada, yada. Don't listen to all that. Go out there, make it happen. You live in the best country in the world. You can't make it here in the U.S., then I don't know where you're going to make it. God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Sam. And again, if nobody loves you, Jesus loves you.
Absolutely.
Awesome.